Good evening. It's Friday night, time for cocktails here at Sense Memory with me, Leonard Smith. Tonight we're going to be having a beautiful classic champagne cocktail to go with two very classic old perfumes. The cocktail is called a barbotage, and it's made by simply three ingredients. First, we take some Hennessy's. We'll be serving Hennessy's tonight. This is cognac. You do a half ounce of the cognac. Put that into your glass. Then 1 teaspoon of Grand Marnier. There we go. And then we top it off with champagne. And tonight we're listening to the beautiful voice of Johnny Hartman, who was a great jazz singer from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And he was considered by people like Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett as the singer's singer. He was a great jazz singer. So here's to Johnny Hartman, classic perfumes, and a great cocktail. Delicious. That bring this sensation. As I said in the opening, we're going to be discussing two very classic perfumes from the house of Coty. Now, Coty is a very interesting house because it's been going on and on and on since the beginning of the 20th century in 1904. It was founded by François Coty, and he was born on the island of Corsica and is distantly related via an aunt to Napoleon. He began his career working with a friend who was a pharmacist, and he invented this perfume called Rose Jacques Minon. And he wasn't able to sell it anywhere. Then he went into this department store in Paris called the Grand Magasin du Louvre, and he was trying to sell it, and no one was paying attention to him, so he accidentally broke a bottle on the countertop. And the smell of this perfume filled the department store, and people came from all around on that floor demanding to know what this beautiful perfume was and where they could buy it. And of course, he got the spot on the floor selling his perfume, and through that very first perfume, he became a millionaire. He went on to create many perfumes, including Chypre, which was created in 1917. And this perfume was inspired by the island of Cyprus and gave its name to the whole Chypre genre. He also is very famous for a perfume created by Ernst Beau, which is L'Amant, which means the magnet. Here we have a bottle of L'Amant. And this particular perfume, Ernst Beau created the recipe for this originally in Russia for the imperial family, and then when the Russian Revolution happened, he made his escape to Paris and got his first job in Paris with Coty, and presented them with this perfume, and it was kind of ignored by Coty at the time. And so when he left Coty, he went over to Coco Chanel, and presented the recipe to her, and it became Chanel No. 5. So when Chanel No. 5 took off, Coty thought, hey, we've got the recipe, let's make some money off of this too. So L'Amant was created, the magnet, and it really does smell beautiful. It is a beautiful, kind of inexpensive version of Chanel No. 5. But that's not what we're discussing. Tonight we're going to be discussing two of his most famous perfumes. The first one was L'Oréal was created in 1905. It's a floral, and the notes are, it's very spicy. Now, to back up a little bit, this of course is a reformulation from the original. I wish I could smell the original. We'll have to go talk to Barbara Herman about what the original smells like. But we're basically exploring this perfume as it is today. And one of the reasons I wanted to choose these two is that they are inexpensive perfumes, easily purchased, and both quite beautiful. So the top notes for this perfume, L'Oréal by Coty, is bergamot, orange, pepper, coriander, peach. The mid notes are nutmeg, spices, jasmine, violet, rose, ylang ylang, African orange flower. The bottom notes are benzoin, cedar, incense, sandalwood, vanilla, civet, musk, and coramarin. Now, the interesting thing about this is that there were certain notes in this particular perfume that were created out of thin air, so to speak. They're molecules that were created as opposed to actually being created from a flower. It was the very first time this was done. And those notes were the coramarin and the inomes. This is a sweet, powdery, woody violet. This is the violet smell. And of course, vanillin, which created the vanilla in this particular fragrance. It really is a gorgeous, spicy fragrance. It's spicy, it's bold, it has that wonderful civet running through it that gives it a really beautiful kind of French perfume flavor. And as it dries down, it certainly does start off feminine, but as it dries down, it becomes more spicy and more masculine. So I think it is something that certain men who like to walk the edge of danger could certainly get away with wearing this particular beautiful perfume. Now, the other perfume that we're discussing from Coty is the beautiful Muguet De Bois. Here we have the bottle. I do have to say that these bottles are serviceable. They're kind of interesting, kind of a look back towards the past, but nothing at all like with the bottles that were created by Coty in the beginning. I meant to mention this and I forgot, but his bottles in the early days were created by Baccarat and Lalique, and they were famous for these gorgeous, beautiful bottles. He had high-end bottles for very wealthy people, and then he also sold his perfume in different price points. But the first time this was ever done, so it made his perfume available to middle-class women and working-class women. Everybody could buy perfume thanks to Coty. He was the one who kind of got that kind of marketing going. So back to Muguet De Bois. Muguet De Bois was created, I found was created both in 1936 and 1941. So I'm guessing 1936 because by the time World War II came along, he had escaped Paris and moved to the United States. The nose behind this one is very interesting. It's Henri Robert of Chanel fame. And Henri Robert is famous for such perfumes as Pour Monsieur, which is one of my favorites and was my very first perfume, Chanel Cristal and Chanel No. 19. Cristal and No. 19 are both green perfumes. And this particular perfume is a floral green. The top notes are aldehydes, orange, green leaves, bergamot. The mid notes are cyclamen, lilac, jasmine, lily of the valley, muguet, which is muguet, and that's the flower of France. It's the flower of France, the like national flower. It's very loved in France. And also there's rose here in the middle. The bottom notes are simply sandalwood and musk. Now, it is very green and quite beautiful. And a little soapy, very fresh, very, very fresh. I think this is, L'Otigon it's definitely a winter fragrance, and this is a spring and summer fragrance. It really is gorgeous, and the The aldehydes aren't in the top there. They're not shooting off like fireworks, say, for instance, like in Chanel No. 5, but back in the background. And what comes up are the green notes, beautiful, beautiful green notes. And it all supports the gorgeous Lily of the Valley. It really is a beautiful scent. I don't think this would work so well for most men, but you could certainly try it if you wanted to. But it's definitely a gorgeous green scent. For women, a gorgeous green, inexpensive scent that is perfect for spring. So there we have my look at these two beautiful fragrances, classic from 1905 and 1936 by Francois Coty and Henri Robert. And definitely explore this house. They're, of course, famous for all kinds of perfumes today. Lots of celebrity perfumes, but it's fun to go back and look at the old classics and see what they are all about. So this is Lander Smith from Sense Memory saying, remember, wear what you love, but not what they say you should like. Wonderful.